Good morning, everybody. This video, I think I want to share this with Africa. It's a short one, but what you're about to see is two guys were caught stealing, and they were tied. Very young men, two young guys, and we all know today in Africa that because of lack of opportunities, young men have resorted to, sometimes committing atrocities, crimes that, you and I would not condone. But I want to share this video with you because I think we have to get to the bottom of these problems. Sometimes it is the root cause. We have to focus on what's causing these issues. And when you see young men like these resort to getting into committing crimes and becoming armed robbers, becoming, thugs or whatever the case may be. What is the root cause? What is the problem? I think until we start focusing on that, we're not going to make a headway. And in Africa, we know it's the level of corruption. We know there's so much corruption that, the young men, young women have no opportunities available to them. But sometimes for like the women, they end up being prostitutes, sleeping with all kinds of men, and the guys, of course, end up being, armed robbers and thugs and, thieves and, pickpocketers, resort to all these crimes just to make a living for themselves, right? But because of bad leadership in Africa, I think that is the focus. That is why we have these situations. Leaders that are thieves, African leaders that are corrupt to the core, that African leaders that have no empathy, they have no sympathy for the people. I think that is the root cause, and we don't even have to think about it. We know that is the root cause why these young men are going through what they're going. So take a look at this video for yourself. I'm not going to make it too long. It's very violent, and I'm sorry about it, but I want to share with Africans because I think the takeaway for us should be, let us stop treating these young thieves like that. I think let us show a little bit more sympathy because if anybody deserves to be tied up and beaten up like that, it's an African leader of an African president, of an African country. An African president, African minister, anybody involved in corruption in the government, those are the people that deserve to be tied up like that and not these. So in other words, if in my local language in Creole, it is like, why we for tied and small over there? With the big thief man them, then they, with the commit all in crime there. So Africans, let us focus on this. Let us stop violating and, committing. Let's stop doing this to our own people, to our own young men and young women, that are caught committing small crimes. Whatever they stole it's not going to amount to the hundreds and millions of dollars that these African presidents and African government officials, the ministers, and all these other people are stealing from the African people. And then the African people in turn have no way to get anything else but to go and resort in stealing, committing armed robberies, or whatever the case may be.
Now Ogu, Christopher Johnson, and
so guys, my challenge to all of us, after seeing this video, I think let us ask ourselves the question: why are these guys doing what they're doing? Do you think if these young men had something productive to do during the day, would they be thinking about getting up at night to go commit armed robbery? That is the question. And why don't we focus on African leaders that are actually stealing the opportunities away from these young men and young women of Africa for them to resort to getting into such acts of violence? Why don't we, stand up to these people and say, end corruption so that we can better the lives of our people and give our brothers opportunities? I think that should be the question, because if we are beating up these thieves like that, these young men and young women like that, I think the African leaders and, everyone involved in government that has been a part of the corrupt, world should have to face the same consequences these young men are facing, being violently tied up like that. But the root cause, I think we should focus on the root cause of the problems and not just the surface. So Africans, please, I'm going to lead a campaign to say, let us stop beating up and thieves and robbers. Maybe let's give them the help that they need, but I think I want us to stop the violence against the young men that are caught stealing or caught committing armed robbery. Let us stop the violence against them. There's a better way, Africans. Let us love ourselves. If we are not going to be able to hold the people that steal hundreds of millions of dollars accountable, then why are we going to beat up and tie up these young men like that? When hundreds of millions of dollars are stolen from Africa every year by corrupt leaders, and they are stealing the future and destiny of these young men and women. That is the question we should ask ourselves.